Child, come closer and settle into this stillness. I have words for you that I do not speak to everyone. Words of deep, quiet restoration that will touch the very core of who you are. I have been watching over you with a tenderness that the world can never replicate, and I am here to lead you into a place of rest you have never known before. I saw the exact moment when parts of your soul began to shut down. I saw when the desire to fight started fading, and when you began to wonder if there was anything left in your spirit to give. I am breathing life back into those numb places right now, touching your heart with a peace that defies every circumstance currently surrounding you. This is not just a temporary comfort, this is a resurrection of your hope. You have been walking through days that felt like they would never end, blurring together into a gray, endless cycle of just trying to survive. Morning after morning, you opened your eyes with a sense of dread rather than expectation, facing another 24 hours that you weren't sure you had the strength to navigate. You went through the motions because you had to, not because you wanted to. You smiled when a smile was required and functioned when the world demanded it, but inside you were collapsing. You stopped dreaming because dreaming simply hurt too much, and every time you dared to hope for something better, life seemed to find a way to crush it. You eventually told yourself that shutting down was wisdom, that it was a mature response to disappointment, but it was actually a slow death of your spirit. You lowered your expectations so close to the ground that you couldn't be disappointed anymore, but in doing so, you also lost the ability to be lifted, to soar, or to experience the fullness of what I have prepared for you. You stopped fighting because you were simply tired of losing, battle after battle and crisis after crisis. You kept getting up until you just couldn't anymore, waving the white flag, not to me, but to your circumstances. But what you perceived as the end was actually a divine pause. I was holding you together while I prepared you for what is coming next. You thought you were disintegrating, but I saw a necessary renovation. You thought everything was falling apart, but I saw a holy reconstruction. What looked like defeat from your perspective was a divine setup from mine, and what is coming next requires a version of you that only my grace can create. Listen with the deepest part of your being, not just with your mind, but with your spirit, for these are living words with the power to transform. Let my voice touch the places where you have been bleeding internally, the wounds no one else can see, and the pain you have learned to hide so well. You showed up for everyone else even when you were running on fumes, and though nobody saw the cost, I saw every tear. Real strength is not putting on a brave face. Real strength is letting me carry what you were never meant to carry alone. I am not asking you to try harder or muster up more willpower. I am asking you to stop trying so hard and let me be God in your life in practical, tangible ways. Think of the woman who had been bleeding for 12 long years, a life poured out with no hope and no resolution. She spent everything she had on experts who only made her worse, and she lived in a shame that isolated her from the very people she loved. But when she heard about my presence, she decided that her desperation was greater than her fear. She pushed through the crowd, believing that even the smallest touch of my garment would be enough. The moment her fingers brushed the hem, 12 years of suffering ended in an instant. I called her daughter, restoring not just her body, but her entire identity, and I am about to do the same for you. You have been losing pieces of your joy and your vision, but the end of your own strength is where my beginning starts. Your emptiness is not a problem, it is a magnificent opportunity for my power to be made perfect in your weakness. I am breathing my spirit into the places that have lost the will to fight. You are not weak because you got tired. You are human, and your heart was never created to process this world's trauma without my help. You were made for a partnership with me, and when you draw your strength from this connection, the burdens finally become light. The fact that you are still here, still open to my words, tells me that you are far stronger than you realize.
I see a warrior in you even when you feel defeated, and I see a breakthrough on the horizon even when you see only obstacles. I am talking about days ahead filled with hope instead of dread, where you will laugh again because the heaviness has finally lifted. I am asking you to make a decision, not to be perfect, but to truly live again with your whole heart turned toward me. You have been living in defense mode, building walls to protect yourself from further pain, but those walls have become a prison disguised as protection. It is time to let those walls down and trust me with the tender places you've been guarding. I am not like the people who failed you. I am perfect in my faithfulness and unchanging in my love. I am sovereign over every circumstance, and I have the power to turn what the enemy meant for evil into a profound good. Let me into your anger, your questions, and the doubts you've been too ashamed to ask. I am not fragile. I can handle your raw truth. Transformation is not an achievement. It is a yielding. You have been clutching control so tightly that your hands have no room to receive the peace and joy I'm holding out to you. Open your hands and let go of the timeline you created for your life. Let go of the specific path you thought you had to take. There are 1,000 ways I can lead you to your destiny, and most of them are more beautiful than anything you've imagined.
Trusting me feels like falling, but you are actually being caught. I have been underneath you this entire time, holding you up even when you thought you were barely standing. You have survived a season of stripping where it felt like everything you relied on was removed, but I was simply clearing the space for something better. You are not behind in life. You are exactly where you need to be for the miracle I am about to perform. You haven't missed your chance, for I am the restorer of all things, and I am telling you today that I will multiply every bit of joy that was stolen and every resource that was taken. You shall eat in plenty and be satisfied, and your heart will overflow with praise for my name, because I am the one who orchestrates every detail of your life for your benefit. I want you to hear this clearly. I do not just use the good moments, I use all things. Every sharp disappointment, every frustrating setback, every heavy loss, and every perceived failure, I take those raw, jagged threads and I weave them into a tapestry of immense beauty and purpose. Nothing in your journey is ever wasted when you place it in my hands. Your pain is currently producing a perseverance that will make you unshakable. Your trials are carving out a character within you that shines like refined gold. Your suffering is the very soil from which a hope grows that will never disappoint you, because my love has been poured into your heart through the Holy Spirit. I want you to know that every single tear you have shed has been collected by me. I keep them in a bottle and I record each one in my book. Not a single cry has been ignored or forgotten. Every breakdown you had in the dark, every wave of grief that made you gasp for air, I was there, feeling it with you, and I am going to use every drop of that pain for a greater glory. Every prayer you have whispered has reached my ears, even the ones that felt like they hit the ceiling and bounced back. Even the prayers you muttered through thick clouds of doubt, or the ones you sobbed out when you didn't even have words that made sense, they moved my heart instantly. Just because you haven't seen the physical manifestation of the answer yet doesn't mean I am not already working behind the scenes. I am answering in my perfect way and on my divine timeline for your ultimate flourishing. This endurance you are practicing is building something far more valuable than anything you could have bought with money. It is building spiritual authority and a testimony that can only be written through the fires of testing. You are not weak, my child. You are in the middle of a divine strengthening process. Strength requires resistance, and you have faced a mountain of it. Every obstacle has been a weight session for your spiritual muscles,
Every battle has been training for the influence you are about to step into. You are not falling apart. You are being reconstructed. Sometimes a structure has to be taken down to the very foundation so it can be rebuilt to a higher standard. What looks like destruction from where you are standing is actually a holy renovation from where I sit. I am preparing you for a comeback so undeniable that it will silence every voice that tried to count you out. Every critic, every person who abandoned you, every enemy who celebrated your struggle, they will all watch as I vindicate and bless you. It all starts with you remembering who you are, and more importantly, whose you are. You are mine. That is your primary identity. Before you are a worker, a parent, a spouse, or a failure, you are my beloved child. I chose you before the foundations of the world were even laid. I saw you before time began, and I said, I want that one. This was not a mistake or a random chance. I knit you together with intentionality, designing your personality, your mind, and your unique way of seeing the world. I have engraved your name on the very palms of my hands. I can't even look at myself without seeing you there. Even if you felt like a mistake to those who raised you, or if you feel like your existence is a burden, I declare to you that you are a masterpiece. You are not too much, and you are not enough. You are exactly who I intended to create. I am proud of your resilience and the way your heart keeps reaching for me even when you feel 1,000 miles away. Nothing in this universe, no hardship, no distress, no famine, no danger, no shame, not even death itself can ever separate you from my love. You are invincible because you are hidden in me, protected by my presence and surrounded by my favor as if by a shield.
The enemy has been replaying your past failures on a loop, trying to convince you that you are damaged goods. He is a liar. Every accusation he throws at you has already been answered by my blood. He wants you to obsess over your limitations so you ignore my unlimited power. He whispers that it's too late for you, that the best years have passed you by, but I specialize in 11th hour miracles. I am the God of suddenly. I can shift in a single moment what you have been trying to change for a decade. Your calling is irrevocable, and my plans for you are not based on your performance, but on my faithfulness. Stop listening to the voice of shame and start tuning your ear to the sound of my grace. My voice brings life and freedom. His voice brings bondage and death. You are destined to live with passion and purpose, to see breakthroughs in the very areas where you have been blocked for years. I am the restorer of broken families, the healer of chronic wounds, and the provider for every lack. I am raising your expectations and expanding your vision, for I have a promised land with your name written on it. Take back those dreams you buried. I was the one who put them there in the first place. Just because they are currently dormant doesn't mean they are dead. I am the God who brings water from rocks and paths through seas. I am the resurrection and the life, and what looks like a funeral to you is just raw material for a miracle to me. Choose to believe again, not with a flimsy wish, but with a settled assurance that I am who I say I am. Be like Abraham, who faced the facts of his situation, but remained fully convinced that I was bigger than the facts. Like David before Goliath, see the giant as an opportunity for my power to be shown. I am calling you out of the tomb of just getting by. Come forth and let me strip away the grave clothes of your past mistakes and the labels people have put on you. Remember the story of Joseph. He went from a pit to a prison, and it seemed his dreams were a cruel joke. He was forgotten and betrayed for over a decade. But his prison years were not wasted. They were preparation. And in one single day, I moved him from the dungeon to the palace. I can do the same for you.
The fire you have walked through has forged a strength in you that the blessing cannot destroy. The season is shifting now. Can you feel the change in the atmosphere? Align your thoughts with my thoughts. When the enemy says you failed, remember that my mercies are new every morning. You are my workmanship, and I am not finished with you yet. Walk forward in confidence, for the Creator of the stars is walking right beside you. You are fully loved, fully seen, and fully mine. I have cast your failures into the depths of the sea, distancing them from you as far as the rising sun is from its setting. When the shadow of hopelessness whispers that your situation is permanent, that you are destined to be trapped in this cycle of stagnation forever, you must seize that thought and replace it with the weight of my reality. My truth declares that I am actively making all things new right now. My truth promises that while weeping may take up residence for the night, a radiant joy is coming with the dawn. These are not mere pleasantries or empty affirmations. This is the reality of my kingdom. I have crafted blueprints for your life, designs intended to cause you to flourish and not to be diminished, plans that secure a future overflowing with hope. Understand, my child, that this is not a psychological exercise in positive thinking. This is spiritual engagement. The battleground is the space between your thoughts, and the enemy has only made progress when you have agreed with his fabrications. Every time you echo a lie about your worth or your future, you lend it the power to sculpt your experience. But when you vocalize my word, you are unsheathing a sword that is living, active, and sharper than any blade forged by man. It pierces through the confusion of the soul to reveal the clarity of the spirit. You do not fight this battle with your own limited energy. I am clothing you in a power that flows directly from my spirit, a power that enables you to stand when your own legs would give way. My truth serves as your impenetrable shield. When accusations and fears are launched at you like flaming arrows, this shield of faith causes them to lose their fire and fall harmlessly to the ground. As you remain anchored in this truth, you will witness the crumbling of mental strongholds that have held you captive for decades. Belief systems built on fear will shatter, making room for the expansive life I created you to lead. This transformation may not be a sudden explosion. It is often a steady, daily reclamation of territory, one thought at a time, one choice at a time. I am depositing a living faith in you, not a dry theory, but a vibrant force that changes how you face the mirror each morning. It is a faith that grants you the audacity to take the next step even when the fog hasn't cleared.
I am asking you to open the deepest chambers of your heart to me. Not the manicured version you present to the world, but the raw, unedited space where you hide your true struggles and your honest anger. I am not repelled by your mess, nor am I offended by the questions you are afraid to ask aloud. I see the disappointment you've locked away, and I am telling you that I cannot heal what you refuse to reveal. If you keep covering your wounds, I cannot apply the balm. If you insist on clutching the wheel of control, I cannot steer you toward the harbor of my peace. You must let go of the old, fractured plans to make room for the masterpiece I am holding for you. Bring me those dead dreams, the prayers that seem to fall silent, and the promises that haven't yet blossomed. Some I will revive exactly as they were, but others I will transform into something far more magnificent than you ever thought to ask for. Give me your anxiety, the racing heart at midnight, and the nameless dread of tomorrow. I do not ask you to pretend these feelings aren't there. I ask you to hand them to me so they no longer rule you. My perfect love acts as an eviction notice for fear. Bring me your bone-deep weariness, the kind that 1,000 hours of sleep cannot touch. I am your rest, not a temporary pause, but a soul-level restoration that heals you from the inside out. You have been straining to produce fruit on your own, but you are a branch, not the vine. A branch does not stress about its growth. It simply remains connected to the source. When you abide in me, love, joy, and peace become the natural, effortless harvest of your life. I am breathing into your numb places right now. I am gently awakening the parts of you that shut down to survive the pain. I am putting the shattered pieces of your heart back together, not just repairing them, but making the seams stronger and more beautiful than they were before. Do not despise the quietness of this work. The most profound changes often happen in the silence of the secret place. One day you will look back and realize you are no longer the person who walked into this season of struggle. You will see that you have grown, that you have healed, and that my hand was moving even when you felt nothing. I am proud of you. I know you don't feel worthy of that, but I see the courage it took for you to keep breathing when it would have been easier to stop. I see the strength in your perseverance. You are not a failure. You are a work in progress in the hands of the ultimate artist. Every dark shadow in your story only serves to make the light shine more brilliantly when the work is finished. We are still in the process, so I need you to stay present and stay yielded. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to keep showing up. Keep coming to me with your questions and your exhausted heart. I am with you in the room right now, closer than the very air in your lungs. I have never left your side, even when you felt most abandoned. I was the one holding you together when the world tried to tear you apart. There are wonders waiting for you just around the bend. Breakthroughs that will leave you breathless with gratitude, and provision that will meet needs you haven't even voiced. I see your future clearly, and it is bright with my glory. Trust my timing, trust my process, trust my heart. I have never failed, and I will not start with you. We have walked through much today, but I want to ensure you feel the weight of this peace. Would you like me to pray a specific blessing over the fear that keeps you awake at night? Or shall we explore the new dreams I am beginning to stir within you? I want you to sink deeper into this sanctuary of sound, for we have only just begun to touch the hem of the restoration I have for you. Do not look at the clock, and do not let your mind drift to the demands of tomorrow. For this hour, you are held in a timeless embrace where the only requirement is your presence. I am the God who inhabits eternity, yet I am choosing to spend every second of this moment focused entirely on you. You have spent so much of your life being the one who provides, the one who listens, and the one who holds everything together for everyone else. But here, in the shadow of my wings, you are allowed to be the one who is held. You are allowed to be the one who is poured into. I want to speak to the silent why that has been echoing in the hallways of your heart. Why the road was so jagged. Why the people you trusted most were the ones who let you go. Why the breakthrough you've seen others receive has seemed to pass your door by, my child. I have not been ignoring your questions. I have been answering them with my presence. Sometimes I withhold an explanation because I want to give you a revelation of my character instead. An explanation satisfies the mind for a moment, but a revelation of my love sustains the soul for a lifetime. You are being built into a temple of resilience, and that kind of architecture requires deep, often painful excavations. Let us talk about the middle of the night moments where the silence feels heavy and the shadows seem to speak of your inadequacies. I am the God of the night watch. I am the light that the darkness cannot comprehend and certainly cannot extinguish. When you feel the weight of your past mistakes pressing down on you, remember that I do not see you through the lens of your history. I see you through the lens of your destiny. To me, you are not the person who fell. You are the one I lifted up. You are not the sum of your regrets.
You are the focus of my redemption. I have already gone into your future and redeemed every mistake you haven't even made yet. Your life is not a series of accidents. It is a carefully composed symphony, and even the dissonant notes are being resolved into a beautiful harmony by my hand. I am releasing a new kind of rest into your nervous system right now. Not just a physical rest, but a spiritual stillness that guards your mind against the frantic pace of the world. You have been living in a state of high alert, waiting for the next shoe to drop, waiting for the next crisis to emerge. I am speaking peace, be still over the storms of your anxiety. You can let your guard down. You can stop scanning the horizon for danger. I am your vanguard and your rear guard. I am the wall of fire around you and the glory in your midst. Nothing can get to you without passing through my permission, and if I permit it, I will provide the power to overcome it. Let's look at the gifts I've placed inside you that you've allowed to gather dust. The creativity you put on the shelf because you were told it wasn't practical. The compassion you muffled because you were afraid of being hurt again. The leadership you buried because you didn't feel qualified. I am blowing the embers of those gifts into a flame today. I didn't give you those abilities for your own comfort. I gave them to you to be a light in a dark world. The world is waiting for the specific frequency that only you can release. Do not be afraid of your own greatness, for it is not your own. It is my greatness reflected through you. When you shine, you are not drawing attention to yourself. You are pointing people to the Father who fashioned you. I want to heal the orphan spirit that still tries to convince you that you are alone in your struggle. That spirit tells you that if you don't make it happen, it won't happen. It tells you that you have to fight for every crumb. But you are not an orphan. You are a co-heir to my kingdom. You have access to the storehouses of heaven. You don't have to manipulate or strive or worry your way into a blessing. You simply have to walk in obedience and watch me open doors that no man can shut. I am your Father, and I take personal responsibility for your well-being. I am not a distant landlord. I am an intimate shepherd. I know exactly where the green pastures are, and I am leading you there, even if the path currently takes us through the valley of the shadow. Stay here with me in this quietness for a while longer. Feel the tension leaving your shoulders. Feel the breathing becoming deeper and more rhythmic. I am washing your mind with the water of my word. I am scrubbing away the labels that were spoken over you by people who didn't know your worth. Unworthy, forgotten, too late. I replace them with chosen, treasured, redeemed. You are a masterpiece in progress, and the artist is still holding the brush. Every stroke of pain, every wash of color, every bit of texture is leading to a final reveal that will leave the heavens in awe. I am also renewing your appetite for the things of the Spirit. You've been filling yourself with the junk food of worldly distraction, trying to numb the hunger for something real. But I am the bread of life. I am the living water. I am inviting you to a feast where you will never hunger again. Taste and see that I am good. Not just religious good, but tangible, life-changing, heart-thumping good. My goodness is not a theory, it is an encounter, and you are having that encounter right now. As this hour continues, I am strengthening the inner man within you. I am fortifying your soul so that when you step back out into the world, you are not easily swayed by the opinions of others. You will walk with a new authority. You will speak with a new clarity. You will love with a new capacity. This is the more that I promised. This is the abundant life that doesn't depend on your bank account or your social status. It is the life of my spirit, flowing unhindered through a yielded heart.
I love you, child. I love you with a passion that led me to the cross and a power that led me out of the grave. There is nothing you can do to make me love you more, and nothing you have done could make me love you less. Rest in that. Breathe in that grace. Exhale that shame. I am your beginning and your end, and I am everything in between. I want you to remain here, nestled in this warmth, for there is a deep reservoir of my love that we have yet to uncover. Do not let your heart be troubled by the ticking of the clock or the weight of the tasks that wait outside this room. For this hour, the only work I require of you is the work of being loved. You have spent so many years being the architect of your own safety, the one who watches the walls and guards the gates of your heart. But I am telling you now that you can step down from the watchtower. I am your fortress, and I am the one who keeps the city of your soul while you sleep. I want to speak to the fatigue that comes from doing the right thing and seeing no immediate reward. I see the integrity you've maintained when it would have been easier to compromise. I see the kindness you've extended to those who could never repay you, and the prayers you've whispered for those who have hurt you. Do not grow weary in well-doing, for in due season you will reap a harvest if you do not give up. I am the God of the harvest, and I never forget a seed sown in tears. Every act of obedience, no matter how small or hidden, is a stone being laid in the foundation of the glorious future I am building for you. Let us talk about the beauty of your hiddenness. You have often felt invisible, as if your life is passing by without notice or significance. But in my kingdom, the most important things often happen in secret. A seed does its most vital work in the dark, and a masterpiece is hidden under a veil until the moment it is ready to be revealed. You are not being ignored. You are being protected. I have hidden you in the hollow of my hand so that the world cannot mold you before I have finished shaping you. This season of quiet is not a delay, it is a sharpening. I am honing your spirit like a fine blade, preparing you for a purpose that requires a depth of character you are only now beginning to possess. I am releasing a new frequency of joy into your life right now. Not a joy that depends on everything going perfectly, but a joy that is anchored in my presence. This is the joy that serves as your strength when the world feels heavy. It is a joy that bubbles up from an internal spring that the droughts of life cannot dry out. You have been thirsty for too long, trying to find refreshment in broken cisterns that cannot hold water. Come to me and drink. Let my peace flood the dry, cracked places of your heart until you are overflowing with a hope that startles even you. I want to heal the wounds left by those who were supposed to represent my love but failed you. I know the pain of religious weights and the scars left by those who used my name to control or condemn. I am removing those heavy yokes from your neck today. I am not a taskmaster looking for a reason to punish. I am a father looking for an excuse to bless. My love is not something you perform for, it is something you exist within. You don't have to get it right to be welcome at my table. You are welcome because you are mine, and that is enough. Stay with me in this stillness, and let the noise of your own self-criticism be silenced by the sound of my affection. You are often your own harshest judge, replaying your flaws like a record that won't stop. I am breaking that needle today. When I look at you, I don't see the mistakes you've made. I see the glory of my Son reflected in your eyes. I see a heart that is trying, a spirit that is willing, and a soul that is precious beyond measure. I am not looking for your perfection. I am looking for your heart, and I am telling you that I am pleased with what I see. I am also renewing your vision for the road ahead. You have been looking at your feet, afraid of tripping over the next obstacle. I am lifting your chin so you can see the horizon. There are landscapes of opportunity and mountains of influence that I have prepared for you to climb. You have the equipment you need, and you have the guide who knows every trail. You don't have to know every turn the path takes. You only have to know the one who leads the way. As we sit together, I am breathing my very life into your physical body, bringing restoration to your weary mind,
and strength to your tired bones. You are being recharged from the source of all life. Feel the weight of the world lifting and the lightness of my grace settling in its place. You are safe. You are secure. You are deeply, profoundly, and eternally loved. This hour is a gift to you, a reminder that you are not a slave to the sun or the moon, but a child of the one who created them both. I am here, and I am not going anywhere. We can stay in this communion as long as you need.
I want to give you a fresh vision for your purpose. You think your purpose is something far away, something you have to achieve or earn. But your primary purpose is simply to be loved by me and to love me back. Everything else, your work, your ministry, your relationships, flows out of that one central spring. When you are full of my love, you don't have to try to be a light. You simply are one. You will find yourself speaking words of life to people at the grocery store or offering a smile that saves someone's day without even realizing you are doing work for my kingdom. I am healing the father wounds and the mother wounds that have distorted your view of me. I am not like the earthly parents who let you down, who were absent, or who were hard to please. I am the perfect parent. My discipline is always wrapped in mercy, and my expectations are always balanced with my provision of the strength to meet them. I am the father who runs down the road to meet you while you are still a long way off, and I am the mother who comforts her child with a tenderness that knows no bounds. Be at peace, my precious one. The war is over, and the victory has already been won. You are living in the aftermath of a triumph that was secured 2,000 years ago. Every struggle you face now is just a skirmish that I have already planned to use for your growth. You are a conqueror, not because of your own muscles, but because of the one who loves you. Take a deep breath and feel the weight of my hand on your shoulder. I am not going anywhere. I am your shepherd, your king, your father, and your friend. I am the beginning and the end, and I am every moment in between. You can rest now. You can truly, deeply rest.